Welcome back to the Betting Dog's Edge. I'm J-Dog.
I'm Corey Dog. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. We're finally getting everything kind of set up here. We got our old setup kind of getting going, kind of bare walls still, but I'll get all my my MMA stuff back up and your football stuff. We got to get going on there too. So, how you doing, man?
Tired, bro. It's been a long week. It's been, but it's been an eventful week, but it's been long.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. I'm going to be going out of town again next week for a couple weeks again to another undisclosed place, but yeah, so I'll be traveling. So, still trying to settle in the new place. Now we're getting our little nook up and running again, so it's going good. So yeah,
that's good, man.
So what we got today? We got this week. We got UFC 14 recap, UFC London. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. Don't forget about that. Helps with the algorithm. UFC picks and best bets for the UFC London. Coming up tomorrow, actually.
Less than 12 hours away.
It's actually really, really quick because of the London time. So they're going to do them in the morning time, I guess.
9 a.m. is the first fight.
For the U.S. So, yeah. So what you got there?
So what I got here today, help us with the algorithm. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. 100 subscribers. This is a mystery glove that we have here for MMA. Signed. We don't know what it is, but, hey, we'll raffle it up. We're going to get it away once we reach our 100 subscribers. Help us get there. It helps us with the algorithm, helps us grow. Tell us what you like about our channel, man. Hit that bell in the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah. Let's get into the UFC 14 recap. 114. It says 14 on there, but I forgot the 1 on there. So UFC 114. Just to see if everybody's watching. Yeah, that's it. That's why I did it. So, yeah. What is it? Oh, yeah, it works. Okay, cool.
It works. It works. We're jumping into that 114 recap real quick. We got Hughes versus Rodriguez in that one. We got Hughes on a unanimous, Rodriguez on a unanimous decision. I told you, man, Rodriguez hit her with a brick. She's got to stop.
Yeah, I talked about Pierre Rodriguez doing this one, and I got a lot of people put Sam Hughes to do this one, but she just didn't do any volume. She just didn't do a work. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Why Pierre won? She was savvier. She looked better, and she put the work in. Sam just didn't put the work in. So
she was going off her talent, and I believe that's what she was thinking. I can beat everybody just off talent and not have to put that work in. But
I guess it's just there's no volume, how can you present your talent? But yeah, it just she would have won if she just would have put the volume in. I said that in the last video, but she didn't put the volume in, so she lost. Well, so moving on to the next one.
We're moving on to Hector Sosa in his debut UFC fight. Another unanimous decision. He put on a nice little clinic in that one. And so,
to me, Lacerda did good, I thought. You know what I mean? I thought he did really, really good against Sosa. Sosa was he had more energy. Mm-hmm. He was able to figure it out and get more prettier shots on Lacerda. But it went to unanimous decision, so he won every round.
So he won every round, but I still had a little issue because Lacerda had 4 takedowns compared to Hector's 0.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. Like, he actually did really well against Sosa, but Sosa figured him out, I think, a little better than Lacerda figured Sosa out. So it makes sense. And he won on points and
significant strikes.
Significant strikes, volume for the most part, and more energy. But he was running around that cage. I do got to say that Medicage is a little bigger than I thought. I thought for some reason, every time I see it, it seems smaller. So now it just looked bigger. I was like, wait a minute. It seemed like a lot more room.
I thought it was just me, man.
It seemed like a lot more room in that, man. I'm sure nothing changed, but it just seemed odd that he had more room to run around Hector Sosa because that's what he likes to do is be on his bicycle.
Yeah.
So he was definitely on his horse.
Or
his bicycle.
His bicycle. Coming from those Spain cages, and like I said, then the last one, those Spain cages are huge.
Yeah, man, those are. Yeah, I mean, where'd he come from? Some
Spain.
Yeah, Spain. The Spain cards. You know what I mean? So yeah, they're huge. Those are big cages.
I mean, that's like a Olympic pool.
So I guess comparable. Meta is smaller, but I think for some reason I thought they had less room to run around.
It looks smaller. It does look. The other fights did look smaller to me. Like I said, it looked like a larger cage this go around.
Better angles, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. But
Better cameras.
Yeah, from Paramount Plus, better cameras. You never know. So yeah, moving on to the next one. Bia Mosqueda and Monsi Rendon. It went exactly the way I thought it was going to go.
Rear naked choke.
Yeah, I mean, I thought she's going to ground and pound her out, but she ended up with the rear naked choke.
Yeah.
So I didn't get the bet on that one. I think I did be a KO on one of my cycle bets.
Ah.
I had a 3-woman fight cycle bet. Yep. She did the KO, and I think Hughes was the one that I lost on.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, but Bia got the KO, and she didn't. She got the freaking rear naked choke. So I would have lost anyways, but she won, right?
Yep.
And that's the thing, I mean, with everybody, I always try to, everybody looks at my bets and goes, oh, that's what you shouldn't have done. And this is, of course, hindsight when people are saying this.
Yeah.
But if you want to go for easy bets like minus 200, minus 260, and not saying they're easy, but to me that the probabilities are going to hit are higher.
Yeah.
Go watch some other people. You know what I mean?
Almost definitely.
For us, we're looking for plus bets and edge bets. You know what I mean, on things to make that plus money, not just spend $100 and you make $20 on it. Spend $100, you make $40 on it.
That's
okay,
a waste of time.
It's less risk
less
reward. So more risk. We do more risk, more reward. Bet dog edges. At least that's what we'd like to do.
Almost definitely.
And I'm profitable on it. You know what I mean?
Been
I
profitable.
don't have to bet so much. You know what I mean? But they don't always hit. But it does only takes really one big one, and then you're back up.
All right, man. It's a learning curve, and at the end of the day, you learn what you like and where you're comfortable. If you listen to us, we're doing the work. So when we're telling you what we're doing, we're literally watching fights. I'm eating, sleeping fights this month.
Pretty much. Been trying to. I've been working my ass off. But yeah, I've been trying to do as much research as possible on everything. And so, but moving back to this one. So let's do this recap real quick.
Yeah.
So Eric Anders against Brad Tavares. We thought that one was going to go, to Eric Anders as well.
Yeah.
That was going to be a close fight, which it really was. Brad Tavares did good, but Eric Anders, I think, did more work in that one and had more ground position, top position, good stuff. So
he did. He had more takedowns, three of them versus one attempt. So
yeah, just a little bit more on the points. You know what I mean? So that went the way I thought it was. I think I picked the Anders that, but I knew it was going to be close. But if Tavares was going to win, it would have been by KO, but just didn't get there. But they were hitting each other.
Most definitely.
So yeah, moving to the next one, Balaji Oki against Marcel Sosa.
Man,
that was a close one. I had Sosa on this one, and
I did
glad
too.
I did, but man, Oki was close on that one a few times. But Sosa is a very durable guy. I mean that.
Durable. In this fight, they were trading bombs from the start to the finish.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like they were throwing jabs and the jabs were like, oh, it's nothing on it. It was just a feeler. The jab was meant to do damage. Yeah. And they were calling them like, you got hit by it. You knew you got hit by it.
Yeah, big time on that one. So, so we picked good on that one. So, moving
Sosa,
on to the next one.
Yep, Sosa again.
Yep, Elijah Smith against Su Young Yu.
Man.
I think we picked Elijah Smith on this one.
We
too.
did.
He was favored on this one as well.
He was. Rear naked choke.
And as you said, he's generational in MMA. And man, it shows. He's
fluid.
His IQ is top-notch IQ.
Top-notch
IQ.
I give you, top-notch. I give you his credit. You was trying to get him in a couple of chokeholds and different hells, but you looked at Elijah Smith's face during that fight. It was calm. It was like, oh, I've been here before.
Yeah, exactly. He just knew what to do in the situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just looked like he was training.
Oh, yeah.
Just dominating at the same time.
I mean, it was just a
rear naked choke, second round.
That was great. It was a great fight.
Yeah, great fight. Moving on, next one. Vitor Petrino against Steven Aspin. I had Aspin on this one. Of course, they were just big banging.
Right,
but Steven Aspin just was slow. Just, his punches couldn't get there. But when they did, it hurt. You know what I mean? It hurt. And he hit he had Petrino almost KO'd a couple times. He had him rung his bell a few times.
Most definitely.
And Aspin had his bell rung a couple times. So it went both ways, but Vitor definitely did cleaner work.
Yeah,
better punches.
Yeah.
Aspin was left bloody.
The damage was done.
Yeah, damage was done. He should have got on him when he heard him. He didn't. So, missed the bet on that one. On Aspin for KO on that one.
I had Aspin. Man,
it was close.
I had Aspin just to win that one. I was like, dang.
Yeah, we had a lot of close ones. I went a lot of dogs on this one, and I had a lot of close ones. Except for Sam Hughes, I actually had a lot of dog close ones that I bet on this one. And Aspin was the one I bet big on. and he lost for Asplin KO, right? That's a big plus number on that one. But, had a good probability as well. So, moving for the next one, right? Orobai against Chris Curtis. Orobai just looked huge in there. He just looked big. He grew. Man. He grew. That's all I can say is that he grew.
They mentioned something through that, talking about Curtis came down in weight.
Curtis came down and Orobai went up. You know what I mean? It looks like he went up to the maximum weight you can in that division. And he couldn't. What are you going to do if the guy just keeps smothering you? I think the referee probably should have stopped the smother fucking.
Yeah.
But didn't. So Orobai did his job, and Chris Curtis couldn't figure him out.
He was just moving Curtis like he was. Oh, I'm gonna move this sack of potatoes over here. Here you go.
Well, then he just kind of leaned on him.
Yeah,
put him in a corner and just leaned on him. You know what I mean? Totally small. So Orobai, we picked anyways on this one, but I was thinking hopefully if Chris Curtis was gonna win, it would have been by KO. Yeah. But he didn't even get the chance to even throw anything. So it was definitely one-sided for Orobai on that one. So, moving on to the next one, Charles Johnson, Bruno Silva, right?
Yep. Bruno's, oh man, this one, it was to me, it was a close fight. It was a split decision on this fight. Johnson barely did, the control was more for Silva. I had it leaning for Silva to win this fight. I didn't feel Johnson did enough to control the fight throughout, but the significant punches and kicks that they were saying took place, they're too close. They're real close, but I was giving it to Silva. I was really surprised when they gave it to Charles Johnson. I was like, whoa, what? Because the control was more for Silva versus Johnson. I mean,
and just the styles, I think the style differences just look better. You know what I mean? Yeah. They did just as much work as each other, but again, it's round by round. Yeah. So he did win each round. They were close, but I think Charles Johnson did win each round on that one, or not every round.
No, he won
the more rounds, right? Out of the three, he won
the first and the third,
right? Yeah, exactly. So that's so
he ran in the third.
Yeah,
you're running. I don't give you a win. I
don't think you should either, but you're right. So moving on to the next one.
I don't think you do.
Yeah, Kudalaba versus Sai.
Now, man, this killed my 5 leg. Man. I had that little voice in my head go, cash out. And I was like, nah, Sai's got this. Sai's got this. Sai's got this. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, I saw it beat because I got up to go grab some food. I'm like, hold on. It's already over? What the? I choke. I was like, why?
Yeah, I think I had Kudalaba on this one myself, but yeah, it was definitely interesting guillotine on that one. Done on the first round.
I mean, I was hurt, bro. I was really hurt.
Yeah. So all right, moving on to the next one, Rahiki against Hardwick. Holy moly, broke his jaw. You know what I mean? Man, that was a good fight. And Rahiki did definitely. We had Rahiki for this one. Yeah. Hardwick was surprising. I mean, he stayed in there. He would have stayed there till the end.
Yeah, he would have.
And Rahiki probably would have won anyways, but broke his jaw. So looked cleaner and stopped the fight.
And that was his first UFC fight.
Yeah, exactly. But looked good. Looked really good with style and everything. So I think he's going to come at least to the top 20. I think he's good. He can get down the rank type 20 pretty quickly.
Oh man, that's gonna be. You're gonna see him in the next couple of months do some damage.
Yeah, we'll see. You know what I mean? This next fight, but yeah, no. Okay, moving on to the next one. Andre Fili, right? Touchy Fili against Jose Delgado, and we had Delgado on this, but Fili, man, he looked like a good experienced guy in there.
He came out He came out like a vet, like he's supposed to.
Yeah, came out and went to split. So he did his job in the second, but Delgado figured him out and got the third round.
Yeah, that was
on that one.
So, it was a good fight though.
Definitely a good fight. It could have gone either way in the third round, but Delgado did more work.
Yeah.
To get it. So. All right, second to last one, Lemos against Jillian. Man, that was just complete ground game, grapple game for Jillian. Amanda Lemos, I mean, she didn't even throw anything. That's what I couldn't believe. Like, Jillian cannot throw a punch. Yeah. So what it looks like to me, she can't even throw a punch. She just wants to take you down and ground and pound you out, or just, because she's so good at grappling and ground. But it's just not fun to watch.
It's boring.
It's very boring, and I don't like that. You can't fight on your feet. You're just going through punches to get to that grapple game and smother fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's okay, but go to BJJ.
True.
If that's what you want.
They got a whole section for you.
You don't even have to throw any punches. Just go to BJJ, and you can do that. Or go to Greco-Roman wrestling. How about that? You know what I mean? But, if you're in the MMA, you should be able to. But if nobody can stop you, and the ref's going to allow it, what are you going to do? You're just going to keep winning.
I mean,
so
you look at
gotta give to Jillian for her style. It works, and everybody allows her to do it. So, I guess that's just my 2 cents. You got to be a MMA, mixed martial artist. Learn to throw a punch. And I just couldn't believe the no fight, no foot game. You know what I mean? For Jillian. But
I mean, it's crazy when you look at the significant strikes, 12 to 42 on that.
Yeah,
I mean, 5 head punches compared to 31.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, man.
It was just, it's boring to watch. It's kind of my whole thing. It's like, is this MMA or is this BJJ? Because I don't like watching just BJJ. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't like smothering to gain advantage, to get on the ground, whatever. You know what I mean? To get to a choke, whatever. It's not fun to watch if you don't even know how to throw a punch. We already know what you're going to do. Everybody knew what you're going to do, and she still did it and won. Yeah. So you got to give it to her because everybody knew her game. Yeah. But it's just boring to watch. So
True.
All right, moving on to the last one. Vallejos against Emmett. Wow, Vallejos was just explosive in that one. I couldn't believe it.
He came ready.
How explosive he was, and the timing on his explosiveness. That's what got Emmett. As soon as Emmett would throw something, as soon as it started leaving his arm, Vallejos was coming with his. So as soon as he almost connected, they were almost a simultaneous connection. But Vallejos was quicker on the draw. Yeah, slower on the throw, quicker on the draw. I was like, wow, that's literally explosive. You know,
that was very explosive. It was very explosive. It was so quick. I'm like, good Lord, Emmett is running around the ring, beating everybody else up, and he ran into a buzzsaw this time.
Round 1.
3 minutes and 33 seconds.
I mean, wow. You know what I mean? So
you eat that many punches that daggum quick. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
but,
so like, subscribe, hit the bell. Tell us where you're following from.
Yeah, 100 subscribers. We're gonna have a signed glove on this one. Signed UFC glove to give away to the 100 subscribers. Random giveaway, and we're gonna cut it open so everybody sees it before we send it off, so everybody knows what's going on everything. So
most definitely.
So like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment below, helps us with the algorithm, all that good stuff. All right, we're moving into we had some bets on this one, so look into that real quick. This was the bets that Corey did on our channel, on our posting. So we had the whopping 3. Yeah, and he had the whopping 1 win, which is good. Right? Better, but that's the 5 leg. He had 4 win and then Cy lost. So plus 389, not a bad 5 leg. I like that one. But yeah, looking at that side, you chose. That's all right.
I mean, I chose it. And
you did Aspen money line too. So I did Aspen KO. You did Aspen money line for plus 180. So at least you got one of yours, right? Yeah. Then I had this. I had a this one is the one I won.
Mosquito.
Yeah, Mosquito Vallejos Delgado 3 legs. So I won that one. Yep. Lost this one from the Cy on there, right?
Cy killed us both.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So, and then Mosquito, Hughes, and for my cycle parlay I had on that one. So, of course, Hughes didn't win, and, of course, didn't KO. So, would have lost anyways on that one. But, so, moving into the next thing, we got UFC Fight Night London with Evloev against Murphy.
It's gonna be whatever. Yeah, it's gonna be fight day in less than 12 hours.
Yeah, right. Paramount fight morning, basically. But yeah,
you got brunch ready.
We had canceled. We had some canceled, right? We had Melissa Mullins and Luana Carolina just canceled. Carolina missed weight, big time. So they canceled it, and there's nobody to replace. And then Parkin, Pinto was fighting somebody new because Mick Parkin now has a replacement for Pinto, and I believe that was where's Pinto? Ooh, right here, Felipe Franco. So yeah, good replacement. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, let's get into it here. So moving in the first one here, Chanel Dyer versus Ravina Oliveira. Go.
Dyer this is her first fight coming into the UFC. She lost her contender fight for the contract. Each time she got hit in the first round in that fight, she was getting knocked down. It was like her footing was off. So this is going to be a bounce back fight for her to get her first, try to get her first win. Welcome to the UFC, fighting at home. We're looking at that. She is the favorite for that one right now. And then versus Oliveira, she's been around for a while. She's coming off a 2-fight loss, but out of the last 5, she's 3 out of 5. But she's durable. She's got the experience, an unorthodox fighter, but I'm still leaning Dyer, taller fighter, lean. The grapple game when she was in her contender series was really good. So that's where my lean is right now. Where I'm picking Dyer for this fight. Even though they're similar in age, and Oliveira has been around for a while in the UFC. This is like what, her 6th, 7th fight in the UFC?
For Ravina or for Chanel?
Ravina, I'm sorry.
Oh, Ravina is
Oh no,
she only has a couple.
Two.
This is her 3rd fight coming
Third
in.
fight.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
But she lost her first 2. So, kind of makes sense why she's dogged on this one a little bit. Chanel Dyer against Oliveira, but not much to say. Like you already said, most of it. Looking at the weigh-ins and the face-off, Dyer looked way taller. That was not 5'6", 5'5". No way. You know what I mean? So Ravina Oliveira looks a lot smaller, Brazilian. You know what I mean? So she's just a short, cute little thing. I like nice. Her. And Chanel Dyer is cute too, but she's tall and she's tough. Yeah. You know what I mean? Looking American type. England, but you know what I mean? Saying that, just that tough.
Almost definitely.
Almost machismo coming out, you know, for the weigh-in and the face-off. So I got to give it to Dyer on this one, just, on her style. Aggression, height, intangibles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Length, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, they don't have the same reach. There's no way.
No.
You know what I mean? At least not from what I saw from the face-off. There's no way.
That face-off, she put her hands on Rivera's chest and was looking down at her.
Looking down at her.
So and they were flat-footed, no shoes, so there's no way.
Yeah. So based on everything, his styles, fighting, losing, momentum, everything, aggression. I think you got to give it more to Dyer on this one. But hey, Oliveira can just, you never know. She picks it down on the ground, and it might be better on the ground.
Could be better.
Because those, little Brazilian girls are good on the ground. You know
Most
what I mean?
definitely.
They know how to, turtle up and get you turtled in.
Yeah.
So, all right. So moving on to the next one real quick. Shamrock versus Abdul Karim Sel Sawadi.
I'm leaning Shamrock on this one. Sham's been in the ring. He did go to the unanimous decision loss on his last fight, but he's continually been in different rings. This is his second UFC fight. Now, Abdul has been off for the last 2 years after his KO'd ground pound strike. So don't know why.
2 years ago,
don't know why he was off, but I'm leaning. The leaning for right now is for Sham. He's been in the ring more in the last 3 years than Abdul, and he's taller. I mean, we saw that face off. He looks taller, looks longer, and I'm going Sham.
All right, gotcha.
Sham.
I mean, he was doing. He pushed him in the face off. He did a little, let's shake hands, and then said psych and pushed him real quick. So just doing a little,
psych him out, get in his head.
Psych, a little, media excitement. Get the media up and going for him.
Yeah.
So a little entertainment there, but looking at things, you got to give Shem a little bit of edge just based on the work he's been doing for the past couple. Years that Abdul Karim hasn't, not saying Abdul hasn't been in the gym in Palestine doing things. Who knows? You know what I mean? But
true.
He's from the U.S., but he's Palestinian, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Palestine. See, so but it says USA over here.
Yeah.
So either way, got to give it more to Shem. He's got the intangibles. He's been doing more of the work. But Kareem, he can do everything. If you go and look back at his fights, he's pretty much well-rounded.
He is.
And he looked pretty jacked in the face-off, way off. And Shem looked thin in that. Looked tall and thin. So, just bone density and things like that, they look kind of similar, if not Abdul a little bigger with muscle. So, it just depends on how Shamrock looks in that for the intangible.
Yeah.
But, Shamrock looks actually bigger than Abdul when they actually step in the ring. I'll give it to Shem on this one. But I'm kind of flipped 50-50 because they actually give Abdul a little bit more on the odds. 105 to 115. Minus 105, minus 115. So they're giving it... Actually, I'm sorry. They're giving it more to Shem on this one.
Yeah.
But it's so close.
It's real
that
close,
it's just
man.
like you can't even say that they're giving him more. That's kind of what I'm saying. So I'm like, they're almost giving it near even, like they said. But I just think it's
And that's what I was looking
But
at. I'm
someone
like,
given 2 years, that's just kind of weird. So
why was he off for 2 years? That was my biggest thing. It was like, what happened after that loss? Did you go back and rework on your game and learn some more skills? What really happened? Did you have some personal stuff you had to get out?
Yeah, no matter what it is, does he have ring rust? You know what I mean? That's the question. So, but anyways, moving to the next one here.
Boy,
I have Shem on this one just so you know, but I'm going to do more work on that tonight,
I got
just
you.
to see if I can make a bet on that. I'm looking for the dogs bets over around here. Now, Abdul, probably not the dog bet on this one. I actually do got a dog bet, so I'll show you guys in a little bit. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment below, helps with the algorithm.
Now, this one we got the heavyweights. We got the big boys in the building.
No big boy. This is going to be banging. This is going to be banging.
I don't give this one out of the second round.
A whole lot of going on.
You know, I'm not giving this one out of the second round. So right now, you know, Lewis Sutherland lost his last fight in the first round to a heel lock. Mm-hmm. You know, I was like, dang, that was real quick. I blinked and it was over.
Yeah, well, that's the usually the heavyweights Achilles heel is the heel.
Yeah,
their legs. You know what I mean, right?
Yep. So you know, and then I was watching Bernardo on a top mount.
Brando
Beresic. I'm messing up his name again. So less than 5 months ago, first round knockout to top mount punches, just dropping bombs. My lean right now is going to be to Brando, and my pick is Brando because we looked at them together in the weigh-ins. Brando looks taller, looks leaner.
Yeah, you see this? Yeah. Louis Sutherland against Brando. Well, this is what they really look like is Louis Sutherland and Brando Perisic. So Louis Sutherland has that wrestler's, you know, American U.S. Olympics wrestler's body now. So you know, don't let that fool you. You know what I mean? One of our best wrestlers in the world had that type of body structure.
Yeah.
So all he has to do is really lean on Brando for this one. You know what I mean? Really, if that's, you know, but he's heavily dogged, right? Moderate underdog, but I think it's heavily dogged on Sutherland for this one. It's a gas tank thing for me. If he can keep it up with the pressure and everything and keep his gas tank going, like you said, don't know if it's going to go for 2 rounds. You know what I mean? So under 1.5.
1.5.
Probably be a good bet on this one.
That's 1.5.
You know what I mean? Maybe who's going to win? Man, don't know. But I'll maybe go 1.5. Now, when it comes to size, height, he looked pretty tall. Sutherland looked a little bit taller. You know what I mean? Brando, I wouldn't say taller, but he looked just as tall.
Yeah,
I didn't see a 2 inch at 6 inches.
Yeah, I mean that's
6 foot. I didn't see a difference.
You know, I'm 6'4". When you're in the 6'3", 6'4" range to 6'5", it's really close. It's hard to tell when you're standing side by side.
I guess everybody's looking up.
So it's hard to tell. Like my dad is 6'6". And, you know, now I'm standing next to him and my stepmom's like, who's taller? Let's take a photo.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
You know, Dad still got me by 2 inches, even though he tries to say, oh, no, I'm not. He tries to do this in photos now. Like he's an old, short dude. I'm like, dude, you're taller than me.
Gotcha. So Sutherland against Perisic under 1.5 rounds. If it's 3 rounds,
it was 1.5.
Under 1.5 for maybe a good bet on that one. Or, you know, someone's going to get ground and pounded or KO'd out. I think ground and pound is on the menu. Yeah. But under 1.5 for sure.
Yeah.
So
the vanilla. I saw this nickname, the Vanilla Gorilla.
Sutherland. Yeah, I know, right? I thought that was great.
You know, the Vanilla Gorilla.
Love the names. Moving on. To next one. Let's go on next one here. So Kondratakvicius, whatever it's you want to say, and Tricoli, right? Mantis. The Mantis against Antonio Tricoli, right?
Oh, the Mantis. Yeah. Mantis versus Tricoli. Now, Mantis has been on a tear here lately after his first loss. And his loss, but that wasn't even in the UFC. That was in Eris, and that was a submission. He was in the Contender Series knocking out folks. So, you know, that was less than 5 months ago. So, and then, you know, I looked into Antonio, and he starts out real good, but as soon as he gets into a grapple, it's like he's lost.
Yeah.
It's like you knew you were coming to the fight, but he forgot what he was doing. Like, I'm studying for the test, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah, he doesn't have many levels to his game when it comes to grappling and ground game. He's pretty standard when it comes to it. And because he doesn't get creative, he can't transition very well. Not very creative. You know what I mean? Just wants to stand and fight. That's what he wants to do. He wants to just fight. And I think Tricoli, they said that he was a gambler.
Yeah, he's a gambler.
Gambler on the side, basically if he's not fighting, he's gambling. It's like, well...
So he's always looking for some badges.
Yeah, exactly. So, man, you better not throw this fight because you're betting on it.
Hey, Dana, you might want to check on that man.
Yeah, you might want to check on him. Don't let him throw the fight.
I need all y'all phones. I need the whole camp phone over here in a box.
Exactly.
Y'all can't have a computer. We're going to walk y'all out and hold the stuff for you. No.
Yeah. I guess he plays a lot of Texas Hold'em and poker and stuff like that. So Mantis is heavily favored on this, and we know that.
Yeah.
Minus 800, huge favorite.
Huge favorite.
Heavy underdog. So they want Mantis to KO him 88% on Tapology.
I mean, after watching that last fight for Antonio, I mean, he was submitted, but he was hit a couple of times and he was almost out on his feet.
Yeah, I know, but you got to give it to Mantis. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I'm still leaning Mantis.
But Tricoli he's on a losing streak. Mantis is on a winning streak.
Yeah.
The height difference was very significant at 6'2", 6'5". I could see definitely a difference.
Yeah.
And Tricoli's actually bigger. So Mantis, he's got a mountain to get over, but I think he can do it. Just take him to grappling, take him down the ground. That's all you need. Yeah. And it's Mantis'
and
game.
Antonio's Antonio's last fights were against shorter fighters, and that's what happened. They knocked him down and took him down and ground and pound and submit.
Yep. Exactly. Moving on. Next one.
I got the prelims.
Mario Pinto against Felipe Franco. Remember, Felipe Franco replaced somebody to fight Felipe already.
Yeah.
And it's a good one. Good replacement, I should say. But he's still plus 600. Huge underdog on that one.
I mean, this dude, Felipe Franco, is a dog.
I mean, they're saying Pinto 91% for KO against Franco. And that's just Tapology, how people pick.
Yeah.
But it's good to see that when you see things like that on Tapology, you kind of have to second guess it. It's too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can't be 97.3. Come on, you can't say the guy's that bad.
He's not that bad.
No, he's not. That's what I'm saying. But he's 6'1" against 6'5".
Yeah,
he's got a lot of intangibles that are against him on this one. And it's a short fight. Yeah. So that might be a good thing for Pinto. Might be a bad thing for Pinto, but I think Pinto will pull this one out.
He's gonna pull it out, but he's got to watch himself for Franco, because Felipe is a beast when he's in there fighting people. He's wanting to take people down to the ground in the videos that I saw. He lost his contender fight to a rear naked choke, but his last two fights, one knockout and a submission, and his version of a rear naked choke.
Yeah.
So he's got the movement on that. Pinto, he wants to knock people out as well. His last last three fights, all KOs.
Yeah, all KOs.
All KOs.
Yeah. So it was a KO right there. Decision.
Yep.
KO. KO.
Four.
So he's a big KO.
Yeah,
right?
4 out of his last fights are KOs.
Right. So that's why I think it's a good matchup because if you want to go stand up with Pinto, that's his strength. Franco, better ground game. Maybe better grappling, better ground game.
Yeah, the Brazilian dude's jiu-jitsu.
That 20, 30-pound difference is really going to hurt Franco.
Yeah, it is.
So the first round, he's going to have a good chance. Second, third, it's going to start losing more probability as the farther the fight goes. So if he doesn't win round one, he's in big trouble. If he doesn't win round one, he's still alive.
He's got to get on his bicycle and get around that ring.
Pretty much.
And stay on his feet. Stick and move.
Yep. So, all right, moving on to the next one. Nathaniel Wood against Losine Keita.
Wood, I'll be honest with you, man. I missed the Wood one in my look through. I didn't even get a chance to do him.
Yeah, you know what? Me neither. So I don't really know much about this one besides I believe who's a favorite on this one. Oh, yeah, Keita is. Yeah, on this one. So, looking at all the everything, KO, decision, KO, decision, KO.
Yeah.
And that's for Keita. And then you got decision, loss, decision. So he likes to go the distance. Obviously, I wouldn't say likes, but he does go the distance all the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time. And we got a KO king over here.
Yeah, and this is going to be Keita's first fight in the UFC.
Yeah, so, it's kind of 50-50, on Tapology. So, Nathaniel Wood, probably a good fighter. You know what I mean? I got to look more into
I got to look into them
the
tonight.
styles. You know what I mean? With these, but yeah, Delgado, he beat Jose Delgado on the last fight.
Yeah.
You know, Morgan Charere, Daniel Pineda. Lost to Mohamed Naimov, and won against Touchy Fili. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So he's fought some good competition.
He's in that level. You know what I mean? Yeah, and he doesn't have that level. You know what I mean? So it's a little different. And he's been in the UFC a long time, fighting, and he hasn't. You know what I mean? So he's just coming in. So first fight, and they're giving it to the Black Panther, not the Last Kingsman. So, but you know,
these nicknames.
Yeah, and this is a tough one because I didn't do a lot of research on it. But looking at everything, I'll give it to the favored one, Kita, on this one, just for the knockout. You know what I mean? I think it'll be a banger. Let's see. So move on to the next one. Mason Jones against Alex Sola.
Mason Jones has been around in the lightweight division for a little bit, and you know the favorite right now is him by 130. When we looked at him, the height difference. My lean was for Alexi Sosa due to the height and the weight difference. And they say they have the same reach. I don't see the same reach. I saw a little bit longer from Sosa from Alexi. So this is one of my dog picks I was looking at.
Axel Sola.
Axel Sola.
Call him Alexi Sosa. You're ruining names on here. Ruin them. Dragon against Axel Rose. You know what I mean? So anyway. I got you.
But, you know, that was my thing. They're both on a tear of fights. No losses in the last 5. And what was that? KO versus they're knockout artists in durability. But, you know, Sosa goes the distance and he's KO. He's making KOs more so than going to decision. So that's why I was looking at him more for my pick. The height, the weight.
You mean in the distance?
Yeah, in the distance.
They both kind of KO and go.
Yeah.
They can do both. You know what I mean? They can all pretty much do it all.
So,
but you know, looking at the intangibles here, you know, obviously Jones is the slight favorite on this one. I got to give it to Jones on everything. Yeah. For this fight, he's a little shorter on this one, but I think he just looked a little bigger with the face off and everything. Girthier on this one. He has been around a little bit longer, so someone's win streak's got to go on this one.
Someone's about to get an L.
Yeah. So
who wants your L?
Yeah. So I'll give it to Mason Jones on this one to win against Alex Sola.
Okay.
Just, you know, he's gritty. He's a bit grittier, I think, than Axel Sola. So we'll see who gets on that one. All right, next one. Curtis Campbell against Danny Silva. It's Pink Panther.
You know, we got the Pink Panther in the building. Now, understand, we watched some stuff on the Pink Panther, and dude is gritty, but he likes to wrestle. He wants to get in there. Danny Silva is just walking forward for punches. So I couldn't find a lot of Silva wrestling and getting in and out of chokes and stuff, but Curtis Campbell is a beast on the ground. His Contender Series, he did win by knees and elbows and punches, but his other stuff was rear naked chokes, unanimous decisions, punches, and he had a smooth transition that I saw in the fights that we watched. So my lean for this fight is going to be my pick for this fight. Not my lean. My pick is Curtis Campbell for this fight.
Okay, gotcha. Tapology agrees with you. To go to decision, go the distance on this one. Danny Silva, like you said, he's tough.
Yeah.
And he's durable, and he can get hit and keep coming forward on you. His last fight was a loss against Vallejos.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin Vallejos, and Kevin Vallejos was a main card.
Yeah, he just fought Emmett last week.
The last main fight of the card.
Yeah.
So you know, we all know Danny Silva can throw punches. And he may basically do it all, right? Yeah. The El Puma, by the way,
the Puma
against the Pink Panther.
Curtis
Campbell. Curtis Campbell, man, he's got confidence, and he has confidence in his chin. He has confidence in his game, so he can do it all. And he's very, very gritty and strong. Yeah. You know, it's very amazingly strength that you wouldn't know that he has.
And then that fight he was throwing knees, and I'm like, he's threw a knee from there.
Yeah, so so he does some wild stuff, but he's when he gets technical, he gets technical when he wants to be, obviously.
Yeah.
But he can get wild. But that gives him that edge that nobody can figure him out.
Yeah,
so he gets, snakes you on the back, he can get right on you. You're not going to get him off. So he's just, he looks nerdy. His neck looks like it can get choked out. Danny does have that, but you got to give it to Curtis on this one for his win streak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his style of fighting against Silva's, he's going to have his word cut out for him because Silva's going to keep coming forward.
He's going to have to get him to the ground and do some ground and pound or some submission work. Tire him out.
Yeah, and he did say that they're the same size, but I didn't see that in the face-off.
No,
I didn't see that at all.
No, it looked like the tell of the tape says one thing, but when you look at them in person, it's a totally different.
Doing the weigh-ins and the stand face-off.
Yeah,
they did not look the same. So So I'm gonna give Curtis on this one. Curtis Campbell on that one. Roman Dolidze against Christian Leroy Duncan.
Oh man, this is heavily favored. I'm going Leroy Duncan, CLD, on this due to his strength, striking ability, his height. They're equal in height in this fight. In the weigh-ins, it looked like Dolidze was bigger.
Roman?
Roman was bigger.
Yeah.
My pick early, and my pick, I've been looking on my stuff. I was picking Duncan because of the size and his mobility, his strength. But in this weigh-in, Dolidze looked bigger. I mean, just weight-wise, looked like he's coming in here. Oh, he's not. You may say he's, what is that, 186? I'm 185. I'm looking at 190, 200 is what I'm saying he's weighing.
Yeah, he looked like he's able to put that water with steak weight right back on there. You know what I mean?
So,
but yeah, he did look. I think they look pretty sized the same on there. But Dolidze looked a little thicker.
Yeah,
with muscle.
But
but the bone structure is pretty much the same. Thickness and bones, blah blah. But yeah, they're giving, I think, Leroy.
They're giving him a huge
minus 500, on this one. But Dolidze is a bad man. You know what I mean? But he did lose by submission.
And he's ranked number 10 versus a number 26, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, but
but the movement.
CLD likes to throw some punches.
Yeah, CLD's throwing bombs and elbows.
So.
But my when I looked at it, I was like, okay, Dolidze is going the distance here lately, and then he lost that last fight to a rear naked choke. His last KO was over a year ago. I was like,
yeah,
but they can come at any moment.
Yeah, they're big boys, middleweights. But if you're gonna do it on the feet, you gotta give it to Duncan. Go down the ground. Dolidze will have a better chance of winning on the ground. Tristan, he's not bad on the ground either. You know what I mean? So he's not great, but he's not bad,
Yeah.
I
just saw him putting himself in a couple of positions when he was on the ground, like trying to sit up and putting his head in a position. CLD.
Yeah.
A couple of fights where I was reviewing, and he kept putting his head out there, and people were putting him in a headlock, in a chokehold. But he would get out, but it's still, you keep doing the same thing multiple times in that same fight.
He's putting himself in that position.
Getting yourself in a position of a person is more aptitude to be like, oh, he keeps doing this, I'm just going to snatch it. When they get him, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So, all right, moving on to the next one here, right? Ivo Braniewski against Austin Lane. Nice.
Oh my goodness.
Nice. This is gonna be a great one here. I like Evo on this one against Austin Lane. Obviously, I think it's gonna be a banger fight.
It's gonna be.
Looking at their sizes, obviously Austin Lane's a lot bigger. He doesn't look that thick though. He looked thin.
He lost weight
in
bro.
there. Yeah, and Evo looked actually just as thick as this picture right here. But no, Lane looked thin like this. You know what I mean? He didn't look as big like this. Kind of makes him look.
Nah.
So 6'6", 6'0", yeah. If they're gonna start stand and throw, Evo might have a better chance than I think on this one. But it's not smart to sit there and throw with Austin Lane's strength, which is on his feet. Just get him, grapple him, get him on the ground because he's a thinner guy, and he's not gonna be able to get up because he's tall and lanky. Yeah. So to do that, ground and pound, I think submission with Evo on this one's a pretty pretty good chance on this one, but better to ground and pound most likely, or go to decision.
Yeah.
But a sub is live on this one, I think, for Evo. So
It is
I
live.
bet on that. I'll show you guys my bets after all this, but that's one of my bets on my ladder for Evo.
For Evo.
Yeah, a little bit of a ladder. So.
All right. I was looking at this fight as a dog for Lane since he's 4 losses out of his last fight. His last win was a unanimous decision over a year ago. Now, that last loss was a rear naked choke 8 months ago. So, I mean, he looks better in weight-wise than what he did in that last fight, but he looks really thin.
Yeah, and who did he fight? Vitor Petrino last one.
Yeah.
And Asplin just lost to as well.
Yeah.
By submission, not knockout. So, it kind of tells you something. He's not good on the ground.
Yeah, he's not good at all on the ground.
And he's starting to get prone to those KOs now,
and
too.
he caught a right hook by Mario Pinto.
Yeah, 3 out of 5. Against Pinto, exactly. See what I mean? So, he's lost. All these are KOs.
Yeah.
KO, loss, KO, loss, KO, loss.
Yeah.
And then lost by sub. So
he's
just, he's a football player. He used to be, went and moved into MMA, and did pretty well, but he's just on a streak right now. Bad luck.
So,
13-7 against 7-0. Got to give it to the knockout artist here, who's knockout all the way through. So
you just got knocked though.
98% getting Lane. That seems a little too much for me. As far as a KO, everybody wants him to KO 96, but I'm pretty sure he's going to win. Evo's going to win on this one, unless Austin comes in and just has learned something and is able to impose his will.
Yeah, I mean
on that. I just don't see him.
If
he's not that type of style fighter to impose will. Until he sees the upper hand.
Yeah, with the reach advantage that Lane has, kicks, jabs, punches at distance, he could take it. But as with what we've seen in his previous fights, he's not using his size to his advantage.
Yeah.
He can throw some bombs. Don't get me wrong. He threw some bombs in that last fight and got him hurt.
Yeah, his defense stinks.
Horrible defense.
That's all. It's just a horrible defense.
Horrible
defense.
It
just stinks. Even on his feet, it's kind of stinky.
I mean, you gotta always be better in your craft. When I'm coaching people at work, I told them today, just because you clock out, don't stop practicing. Always practice to be better. You got to be better than what you were yesterday. And literally, you watch your last few fights, Lane, you got to get your hands better. You got to get your defense up.
Yeah. So who you got on this one?
I'm going Evo.
Okay. You're going to Evo, Kwadranowski. Okay, gotcha.
I'm going Evo. I was going to go Lane on my dog, but I went back and looked again.
I thought you said something about it. I was like, I thought you would. Anyway, all right, moving on to the next one.
Bro.
Yeah. Michael Page against Sam Patterson.
Now, this is going to be it's a fight of styles. Michael Page jumps around the ring. I think we watched that fight. He's just bouncing around, fighting awkwardly. This is Sam Patterson's second fight. I don't know if Patterson has seen anybody like this before in his fighting history. He is on a 4-fight win streak, but I'm still picking Michael Page, the veteran, due to conflict of styles. I think he's going to take this. It's going to throw him off a little bit. Now, that fight we watched with Sam Patterson, it took him a little bit to figure out his last opponent, and then he KO'd him. I mean, he just caught him and knocked him out with a right hook. So, with Michael Page's losses were unanimous decisions, but it was all due to wrestling and getting taken down to the ground.
Yeah.
So, that's the biggest thing with Page is if Patterson gets Page on the ground and keeps him on the ground, this is going to be a Patterson fight. But if Michael's moving around the way he likes to move, jumping around, doing weird stuff in the ring, frustrating fighters, getting him frustrated, this is going to continually be a pattern of him winning, and I'm leaning Michael Page for the win for this one.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm leaning on Patterson a little bit on this one. And the reason why I like Michael Page, he's been around. We know he's Venom.
Yeah.
And does a lot of tricky, goofy timing, weird stuff in there to kind of confuse his fighters, and then he gets them with it.
Just doing weird stuff.
He's twitchy, he's long, he's spider. He does all kinds of weird stuff, right, to kind of get you off the game. But like you said, he starts getting grappled and smothered, he loses the fight.
Yeah.
But he's very IQ smart in there, very, very IQ smart. So, but thing is, everybody knows Michael Page now in the way he fights. So anything he does now is really not surprising anymore to anybody. So, he's been around for a long time, 24-3. I think he dominated another, not UFC, but another. It wasn't Pride, but it was one, I think, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, K1.
Yeah, K1, something like things like that, right? He was, the top of the tier there, and then he moved to UFC. And
he went to Bellator first.
Yeah, he's doing Bellator. That's what it was. So he was doing great, and he was top there forever. And then he moved into UFC and, lost one against Gary, but he's still doing almost a perfect record since his fight game started. So, 38 years old against 29, 10-year difference. Don't know if that's going to make a difference because it's Michael Page, but you never know. He's got flying knees and all kinds of stuff. So as long as Sam Patterson fills the void of that gap and can smother him, get him down the ground, because Sam Patterson's got really good game.
Man, I mean, he looked that fight we watched, and he looked a little jittery, and then he calmed down and was in the fight.
Yeah,
man, he took out Trey Waters like it was not. It was just a couple of punches later, and it was over.
Yeah, so I think Patterson can do it. I gotta give. I've watched Page forever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I know him. I'm just like, it's like, I don't want. I hate to be biased on this because I like Michael Page, and he's also favored in this one, I believe, too.
Yeah.
Was he heavily favored?
No, 185.
Slight favorite. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. I'm just kind of like, gotta give it like almost a 60-40 for Page is going to win on this one.
60-40.
So that's why I want to bet on the dog on this one. There's value there. I think there's value, and I think Sam can pull it off. You know what I mean? So that's just so I might throw a little dog bet on Sam Page because what is it, plus 160?
Yeah,
you can go straight bet on that, straight money line.
Money line on that one.
Sam Patterson. You know what I mean? To make it. So that's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. So like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment below, helps us with that algorithm.
I was building. I was putting Page and someone else together in a bet. So we'll see that. We'll have that up here in a moment.
All right. Yeah, fair enough.
And then we're rolling into that next, the co-main event.
Luke Riley against Michael Oswell.
Yeah.
What you got, man?
Man, Luke Riley is an animal. That boy's a beast.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
you wouldn't think it when you're looking at him. But man,
that's a straight. You look at him, he's like the kid next door. You're looking at him like he ain't got nothing for me, and then he's like a buzzsaw.
That's all he does is KO people. You know what I mean?
He's putting them hands on people like, whoa, I didn't realize he had that. And, my pick on this fight is Riley, don't let the sleepy eyes fool you. The boy's going to put you to sleep if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Not to say that Michael Oswald Jr. isn't a good fighter, but, his last fight was a KO. I'm still the style that we're looking at from Riley. My pick is Riley on this one, man. Just everything he's got. He's power. He's got a grapple game. He's got a knockout game. His hands are good. My lean is Riley. My pick is Riley for this.
Yeah, I got you. He's 12-0. He's undefeated. He's got from basically all the intangibles in his favor for the most part, except for significant strikes, things like that. Yeah. But the way he fights, he's like you said, he knocks out. So that's why his things are so low, because he knocks them out so quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's on big knockout guy, can pretty much do it all. You can go distance, you can go to the ground. You know what I mean? But he prefers to stand up, and he will force you to stand up with him because you can't keep him on the ground. No. That's how good Riley is.
I mean,
but Michael Oswald is a good fighter. You know what I mean? But he has fought people like Balaji Ogi and lost by decision. So he actually went the distance with Balaji on that one. So I remember watching that. Watching Balaji fight.
Yeah.
So it was a good fight. He lasted the whole time with Balaji. Balaji, as you know, kind of wanes later on.
Yeah, they doesn't have that
once
cardio.
Once Oswald started figuring him out, you know what I mean? But he still lost. Yeah. You know what I mean? By rounds on that one. So Bogdangrad, you know what I mean? So he has fought some top level people, and Riley, not so much, right? Not so much as far as saying Bogdangrad, he won. You know what I mean? And then I think Bogdangrad, he lost. You know what I mean? So they fought the same people, and Luke Riley's come out on top with that. So, like you said, based on everything, intangibles, record, style, grit. The baby face dude. You won't even know it, and all of a sudden you're done. You're KO'd. You know
what happened?
So it's crazy. So Luke Riley all the way on this one, right?
Yeah, Luke Riley
minus 205. So he's definitely favored on this one. So I'd look maybe for a bet on that one, but Luke Riley for the win on that one. So moving on to the last one. Last but not least, Movsar Evloev against Lerone Murphy.
The miracle.
Yeah, the miracle.
The miracle is a moderate underdog on this one. Now Murphy, he's been in some battles recently. He fought what was that? Josh Emmett. Emmett picked him up and threw him over his shoulder like it was nothing, and but he came back and won that unanimous decision on strikes. It's like when Emmett got him down to the ground, couldn't keep him down. He was just like, get up. He was just like, oh, I'm gonna get back up now.
Yeah, unanimous decision.
But then the Aaron Pico fight, that one, Pico had him up against the fence, leaning on him, trying to wear him out that way, and trading punches. And you could significant Pico's punches were significant, where they were hurting him. But when he got off the fence, he was listening to his coaches, and he just spun, hit him with that elbow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He knocked him, man. That spinning elbow, he was just out.
On Ige.
Yeah,
no, Pico.
Pico, he was just looking. Pico never saw it coming. Just Pico was getting ready to set him up again for another body shot, and just caught an elbow when Murray came out. Murphy came off the fence. So you
can't talk. Keep talking, man.
Can't talk.
But yeah, no, I got you, man. So Evloev against Lerone Murphy. I got. Who do you got?
This is a hard fight for me, and I'm picking Murphy.
All right.
I'm picking Murphy on this one.
The dog.
I'm picking the dog. Not to say that Evo is not a good fighter. I watched his unanimous decision fight. He can ground and pound. He can wrestle. He can get in and out of different holes. He can stand and punch with you. So he's a well-rounded fighter. That's how he got to 19-0.
Right.
It ain't like he's just here for nothing.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm looking. I like Murphy for this fight.
Yeah, I mean, I was getting some bad feelings at the face-off and the weigh-in there. That Lerone Murphy wants this one bad.
Yeah.
And Movsar kind of feels that he wants this one. So, looking at height and size and styles and all that stuff, it's a really good matchup in style, right? Really good matchup in style.
Yeah.
Lerone, he looked mean in there. It looks like he wants this one badly, but we'll see tomorrow if he comes in with that same fire and confidence. You know what I mean, to take it, because he might be able to outwill Evloev on this one, just based on strength.
Yeah,
I mean, I think he's a stronger fighter. I think he's stronger strength-wise.
Yeah,
doesn't mean he's going to win, but those overall intangibles of being stronger, a little bit taller, still has a rounded game too, and can knock you out. But Evloev, man, I mean, you don't understand. The guy is so durable, and he's gritty. He's grit. I mean,
the fights I watch for him, he's gritty, but to me, sometimes he looked like he was bored in the ring.
Well, that's because he's the caliber of people he's been fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dan Ige, he won against Dan Ige. He won against Dan Ige.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So,
it was just like
the level of fighters that he's fighting ain't the same as Edson Barbosa when he was older, but it was almost 2 years ago he fought Edson Barbosa and won.
Yeah.
Dan Ige by decision, KO finally by Aaron Pico. Decision. For Evloev here.
Yeah.
So, like you said, he seems bored.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He really just wants to grapple with you, because the Russian style is
bear
grapple. You know what I mean? And then, snuff you out. And then if you get in a good position, then, ground and pound.
I mean, and that's a good way to win. We saw that last week with Roberts. She won by grounding, by smotherfucking. But at the end of the day, like the last few fights, he really looked bored. Like, I'm going to let you take me down. Okay, I'm going to roll over him. I'm going to get you in the grapple. He was never really like trying to put the person away to me.
Yeah, but that's the level. That's basically saying, I'm a better level than you. You're boring me. I did this, with brown belts. I'm a black belt. Come on. But again, so that's my point. Is Lerone has a little bit more rounded game.
Yeah.
He's not going to get bored. This is a higher level guy that he's fighting, and Movsar has to hit that level. So it's kind of a gatekeeper, I think, for Movsar to get through Lerone Murphy. So you're right. He has a pretty good chance.
And plus, he's been off since 2024 also.
Yeah, but either way, it's going the distance. It's going to go over at least 1.5 rounds.
Oh, you going?
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So at least the type of bet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't know who's going to win, but it'll definitely go over 1.5 rounds based on all the decisions and stuff.
It's going.
Yeah,
it's going in there.
And he's got a
waters.
tough chin.
Yeah.
And Evlov's got a tough chin. So Lerone's got his work cut out for him on this one.
Okay.
But it's gonna be a good one. Yeah.
It's
so
gonna be a good one.
All right, man. So yeah, that's it. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment below. We got a 100 subscriber giveaway, signed autograph MMA.
Yeah.
Glove, right?
Yeah.
100 subscribers, we'll give it away. Do a random subscribe. We'll cut it open. We'll show everybody who it is, and then we'll send it off to the winner there.
Most definitely.
And what else you got going on? We got Paramount Plus in the morning. I got to get my ass out of here and go do things. We got some bets that we made actually.
Yeah, I'm pulling those up right now. I got a 3-leg right now out for Evo, Page, and Campbell.
Okay.
Out
Makes
right,
sense.
Right now, early favorites. I picked that earlier in the week. So I got that out right now, and I'm building. And like I said earlier, I was building another one. I'm looking at thinking about throwing Riley in one.
All right, let me tell you what I did instead of what you're thinking 10 hours before a fight. All right, so 4-leg parlay I got out there with Duncan, Mantis, Condra, Tricius, whatever his name is, Mario Pinto, and Chanel Dyer. So Dyer, Pinto, Condra, Tavicius, and Duncan for the 4-leg parlay. It's only minus 108. Right, so it's the highest favored people is what I got for the 4. And like you, I might be cutting it short if it's doing good at 3. We'll see what happens.
Hey, man, like I said, that voice in my head is like, hey, cash out now.
Yeah, and you didn't miss it.
Cash out now.
I did it in mine. I had 5, and I cut out, and luckily I did.
I was like, hey, I'm starting listening to that voice in the future. It says cut out. I'm running. I'm cutting and bait.
The other one I have, it's a couple more. I got Evo to win by sub.
Okay.
Plus 500. Had a little boost on there on that one. So plus 500.
Okay.
Did a nice big, nice unit on that one. Let's see. Over 1.5 for Evo fight to be over 1.5 rounds on that. Plus 240 on that one. So those are my 3 I got out there. For this fight night. And then I put one out there just for when the White House, I believe it's the White House card, or coming up shortly, is the Pereira versus Cyril Gane fight.
Oh, man, that's going to be a fight.
Pereira all the way, minus 115 on that.
I mean, Cyril Gane's been working with...
easy money.
I thought Cyril Gane's been working with John Jones.
Yeah, it don't matter. It's Cyril Gane. You know what I mean? You're talking about Pereira here. Cyril Gane can't take no punches that from Pereira. You know what I mean?
Pereira's dropping bombs.
And the strength and everything that Pereira has. Yeah. It's going to be a good fight. Cyril's in his prime right now.
True.
But I just think, he's not a warrior like Pereira is. We saw it in the last one.
Man.
We bet on it.
Yeah.
He was underdogged and took him out in less than a minute. You know what I mean? 2 minutes or something like that. So
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
So when Pereira's in his top prime, then there's no way Gane's prime is going to even be close to Pereira's, I think, in my book. But anyway, that's coming on the next fight. Yeah. But Evo is pretty much mine, and I'm looking for another dog bet out there. But I'm
tell us who your dog is.
I'm looking at Patterson on this one. You know what I mean? To maybe be the dog on this one. So yeah, that's what I mean. You know what I mean? It's close on everything that I'm looking at.
Yeah, it is real close.
Riley Aswell, no. Patterson Page, maybe. You know what I mean? Austin Lane, no.
What about Campbell Silva?
I might look at Delidze too, but Duncan's looking better on that one.
Okay.
Silva, no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sola, isn't Sola the underdog on that one?
I believe he is. Where'd it go? Soloff.
Yeah, I think he is too. But yeah, so
where'd you go, Soloff? I know you're.
It's Akita against Wood. You know what I mean? It's just hard to find. Pinto's gonna win that one. Controvicious.
Yeah, Solo is the
Sutherland.
dog.
Sutherland against Petr Cech. That's the big heavyweight one. That I'm thinking like, man, I think the dog.
I'm going to distance on that one.
Yeah, I mean the dog might do good on this one. You know what I mean? That's what I'm kind of looking at. I'm like, the dog. You know,
they're big boys. We in here rolling. You know, somebody going to the buffet after this.
Yeah, plus 215 on that one. You know what I mean? So that's, I'm like, you know what I mean? That might be a nice dog bet on that one.
Yeah,
you
throw a dog out there.
It's got that wrestler's, physique. So if he just gets close, he might be able to do damage. So, but Shem against Abdul, no, I don't really have that. And Dyer against Oliveira, definitely got Dyer on that one.
Yeah.
So looking at maybe Patterson and maybe Sutherland as the dog bets on this one. Don't have to do much with it, but you want to get crafty.
Yeah.
With something, we're looking at Patterson to go the distance or sub on that one. Yeah. If you want to get crafty on something,
you want to get crafty. It's going to be that fight is going to be real crafty and crazy.
And then looking at Sutherland, it would be either I would say ground and pound on the ground or sub, but most likely ground and pound.
Ground and pound.
Down, yeah, he might be able to get the sub, but he's just so girthy. They usually don't go for subs.
Like I said, that Sutherland lost his last fight to a heel lock.
Yeah.
And so that might be that sub may come out of anywhere for you.
Yeah, maybe.
So that might be a pick for you.
Exactly.
So, hey, you get that pick in there. If he lost it, and like I said, that heel lock was in the first round in their first lockup. It wasn't even like, oh, we're wearing you out. It was like, boom, they're on the ground and the heel lock.
Yeah, exactly.
It got done. So that might be one that you look at.
Yep. So, all right. Well, that goes it for this one. We done?
We done. Like, subscribe. Tell us where you're following from.
Yep. And
hit that bell.
We'll see you on the next one.